Right now at 5, an update to a shooting investigation in South Beloit. Officials now calling it a murder-suicide.
Plus a program making it easier and more convenient to get your flu shot. A look at the drive-up clinic coming to Rockford.
And nominations are now open for an annual award for educators. What volunteers did this morning to kick off Golden Apple.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here tonight.
New tonight at 5, we now know more about what led to the deaths of 2 people in a South Beloit home earlier this week.
Officials are now confirming tonight that shooting to be a murder-suicide. South Beloit police initially conducted a welfare check Tuesday morning at a house on Gardner Street, but that turned into a death investigation. They found a bullet hole in a window and found the bodies of a man and a woman inside with the gun still nearby. Winnebago County Coroner's Office confirming both died from gunshot wounds. Investigators say the woman was fatally shot by the man who then took his own life. The names are not being released yet, withheld right now by authorities. Rockford police are investigating after 2 people are shot on the city's northwest side. This happened at the intersection of Rockwell Street and Airline Avenue. 911 calls came in around 2:30 this morning. Police say 2 people were shot and then taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have not identified a suspect at this time.
Tonight we've learned the identity of the man whose body was pulled from the Rock River earlier this week. The Winnebago County coroner has identified the victim as 51-year-old Anthony Brooks from Rockford. Rescue crews were called to the area behind the Rockford Public Library around 10:15 Monday morning. They say a bystander had attempted to rescue Brooks from the water. Crews were on scene for about 2 hours before divers recovered the body. Brooks was pronounced dead at the scene.
Sadly, a Belvedere man is dead tonight after officials say he crashed into a tree with his car. Boone County Sheriff's deputies say they were called to this accident at Shaw Road just after 4:15. They found the body of 23-year-old Juan Paulina inside the car. Authorities say he was the only person inside the car when it crashed, and now that crash is under investigation.
Rockford officials confirming the presence of ICE agents in the city last night. Residents notified the city of an SUV outside District 2 Police Headquarters on Broadway. That was around 8:30 last night. The city says agents approached the building, which was closed at the time, and made no contact with anyone inside before leaving about 15 minutes later. RPD had no contact with ICE officials before or after the incident. The city is unsure if agents are still operating in Rockford. Today marks 2 years since the Safety Act became state law. The law eliminated cash bail in the state of Illinois. While advocates say this creates more fairness in trials, a group of Republicans spoke today about the issues this creates for state funding.
I went to so many different offices in the county, just little small incremental amounts. It still costs what it costs to put on a trial and do all the things. If we've taken all that money out of that circulation, those offices, like David talked about, the circuit clerk's office, they're going to have to go back to the general fund, and their budgets are going to increase because it's still going to cost what it costs to run their office and hold court.
Critics also say the Safety Act allows violent suspects to be released back into the community. The GOP says they believe reform is common sense and hope to work with Democrats to change legislation.
An area health network is making it convenient once again for you to get your flu shot this season. OSF is beginning its drive-up clinic today at its location on Featherstone Road in Rockford. That's near Mulford and East State. The clinic will operate Thursdays and Fridays from 8:20 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. People over 18 can schedule an appointment. All you have to do then is just drive into the main parking lot, follow the signs to the designated area, and get your flu shot.
We recommend everyone to stay vaccinated. Of course, they discuss with their doctors. Commonly, folks older than 65, for sure it's recommended. They discuss with their doctors if there's a need for vaccines, flu, COVID, RSV, and the likes, or even people who are immunocompromised or have some other comorbidities that we might consider as high risk. So it's obviously always important.
The drive-up clinic runs through Halloween, October 31st.
Providing warmth and comfort to hospice patients. Volunteers from the Mississippi Quilters are part of a project to create lap blankets for people in hospice care. It's called Compassion for Seniors. The Quilters Guild plans to complete these blankets by the start of December before donating them to OSF.
There are a lot of nursing homes, a lot of care facilities where people don't have a lot of things. And so we really try to, give them little things.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear more about the quilters behind the project. 2 State Line College graduates looking to pursue graduate school are now winners of $30,000 in scholarships each through the Rotary Club. The 2 scholars were picked by a group of 48 Rotary clubs from across Northwest Illinois. Kirsten Kiki Fisher was one of the winners. She's a Roscoe native. She graduated from Hononegah, then got her bachelor's from Bradley University in May. And then starting next month, she plans to pursue her master's at the University of Crete Medical School in Greece.
I can't thank the Rotary Foundation enough and the Rotary International as an organization, and of course District 6420. I mean, just being here is a real honor. I can't even really put into words how amazing it is, and I mean, truly just seeing all these people in a room, all of these people who I respect and I know, and getting to listen to Laura talk, and it was really fantastic, and I just feel really honored.
The other winner is a Rockford native, Mohammed Salem. He graduated from Auburn High and then Yale University. He now plans to study public health at Oxford in England.
Nominations are now open for this year's Golden Apple Awards for teachers. To kick it off, volunteers unloaded more than 5,000 fresh apples off a truck and delivered them to teachers at over 150 schools in Winnebago and Boone counties. It's to show appreciation to state line educators. For this year's Golden Apple Prize, you can nominate a middle or high school teacher to be considered. The nomination deadline is October 16th. Nominees will have to complete a portfolio to be considered a finalist.
The cooler fall weather also bringing a rise in home improvement scams, and the BBB is again warning you tonight. The Better Business Bureau says these types of scams were the 5th riskiest for consumers over the last year. The BBB says scammers often push homeowners to take limited time on deals and repairs that end up being incomplete or insufficient. So to protect yourself, the BBB recommends insist on seeing references, request a bid in writing, and compare it to others. Get a written contract before paying any money, and always read the fine print. If you do become a victim of a scam, please report it to the BBB's website.
A redevelopment of the Oregon riverfront is underway.
We'll hear from officials and people who live in the area about the project on the other side of this break.
We had sunshine once again this afternoon, brought our temperatures into the upper 80s, but some cloud cover moving back in, along with some showers will greet us heading into the weekend. A look at when we could see that rain and when we get a break from some of this heat, all coming up in the forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Lever, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
The city of Oregon's looking to expand its river district. It approved the purchase of an historic foundry along the Rock River.
Eyewitness reporter Blake Dietz spoke to city officials about it. Blake, what did they have to say?
Yeah, it's part of an effort that's almost a decade old. Residents and city officials alike have wanted to better utilize the Rock River. And this purchase, well, it's one step forward.
Oregon is building a river district. It's something that has been in the works for almost a decade.
Being a river community is so important for ecotourism and just the beauty of our community. So the thought was to, like many river community is, like, how do we preserve that?
Businesses like the Hunt Club and River's Edge Experience have popped up along the Rock River recently, and the city wants to capitalize on the momentum. Last week, the city purchased a property along the river, the former Paragon Foundry site. The foundry was constructed in the early 1900s, but ceased operations over 50 years ago and had been for sale for the last few years.
The family were great partners to this. They see the vision of this riverfront redevelopment. So the right developer came forward. We wanted to move quickly to go ahead and get access to the property for the developers and engineers and all of those things.
City Administrator Darren DeHaan says the developer is looking to create a mixed-use space with retail and housing. The city's mayor says it's something the community has been pushing for.
This has been great for the community, and the response from our citizens has been fantastic. They really love what we're doing. They know we're helping keep the riverfront beautiful, and this is something that we're looking forward to doing.
It's another step towards a vibrant Riverside area.
It's just fantastic just seeing activity along our riverfront, people being able to enjoy it, and we're hopeful kind of for the next step in that riverfront development with this property.
So the next step, of course, full plans for the site are still in the works. The site will need to be demolished before any construction can begin. Wendell.
Blake, thank you. Fall is fast approaching, but our temps remain very summer-like.
When we come back, Candace lets us know about our rain chances this weekend. It's coming up in our full forecast next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, for a lot of us, our temperatures have once again warmed into the 80s, mid and upper 80s. We're at 87 right now in Rockford, made it up to 88 today, 87 in Rochelle, 84 in Freeport, but dropping a bit out to the west where we've had more cloud cover there. Galena sitting at 72, 88 for our weather watcher Terry down in Genoa, dew point at 58, a calm wind and pressure holding steady here through much of this afternoon. 85 for our weather watcher Jean in DeKalb, and that relative humidity sitting at 37%. So that drier air plays a role in that precipitation we see there out to the west of us. So with that dry air in place, what we see coming down has a hard time reaching the surface because we've got that low level dry air. Now that's not to say we still won't see a sprinkle or perhaps a very light shower across far northwest Illinois, maybe stretching here from west and northwest to Sterling up through Mount Carroll, and then once you get out west of Freeport out towards the Stockton, Elizabeth and Apple River area, but most of us will stay dry through this evening. And we can see that drier air in place, those higher dew point temperatures there out to the west where we've got that moisture. Now eventually we'll start to see that moisture begin to work in our direction as we head closer to tonight, through the day tomorrow, and then once we get into the weekend, which will lead to the chance for some rainfall. You can see some clouds on the increase. In fact, a little boundary sitting overhead just off to the west. Pretty cool on the time lapse. You can pick up those clouds kind of building up along that boundary, a little outflow boundary from some of the showers there that have been out to our west and an incoming system. But for tonight, we'll see that cloud cover gradually on the increase here as temperatures will drop down on either side of that 60-degree mark. I think we'll settle right around 60 degrees here in Rockford. I'm going to hold on to that slight shower chance there, especially as we work a little further into the night. Now we've got some dry time for tomorrow. Passing shower cannot be ruled out tomorrow morning. Some drier time into the afternoon, but as that low pressure system moves a little closer to us Friday, I think that's when we start to see at least a small chance for some showers on the increase there by the time we get into Friday evening. So let's put all of this together on Futurecast. Here's a cloud cover as that is on the increase. Notice a couple of showers there out to the west, moving across parts of northwest Illinois about 6-7 o'clock. As we get further into the late afternoon and evening hours, as this storm system and actually another cold front coming in from the northeast kind of work together, and we pull in that moisture, a few hit or miss showers, and yes, even the potential for some thunderstorms will be there as we approach that late afternoon, I should say, evening time frame. We might see a small uptick in some of that activity as we near midnight tomorrow night, and then going into Saturday again as another system kind of works through these little disturbances moving through this overall big dip in the jet stream. But it's not a complete washout, and think of this as more widely scattered activity, especially with the heating of the day on Saturday before things kind of wind down Saturday night, and then we could see that activity again as we head into Sunday. Now temperature wise, our numbers are likely to stay in the 80s. We'll drop down to that 60-degree mark for tonight. We're up to 84 tomorrow. You're going to notice a small uptick in some of that humidity though. It's not going to be excessively humid, but a little more muggy than what it's been here the last couple of days. Keeping our eyes on a cutoff low pressure system that could bring us a few showers next week.
Thank you, Candace.
Drew's in next with sports.
We will hear from the Bears coaching staff about their thoughts moving into week 3 of the NFL season.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
The Chicago Bears are trying to avoid an 0-3 start. NFL history says if you start the season 0-3 that you have just a 2.4% chance of making the playoffs. Bears are trying to bounce back from their annihilation from Detroit and their 52-21 loss. I think most people thought Coach Ben Johnson should have made it a closer game against his former team. It was the first time the Bears have given up 50 or more points since 2014. The coordinators on both sides of the ball reacted to the disappointing start to the season.
Both weeks we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot with, either penalties or just mistakes. That's something that, we're working really hard to clean up, because that can't happen. I think Caleb played better in this game. I think you saw a guy who has improved.
When you don't perform well and you lose a game like that, there's a lot of issues that went on.
On the other hand, the Packers have had a perfect start. They are 2-0 and face the 0-2 Cleveland Browns in a game where the Packers are favored by more than a touchdown. But unfortunately for the Packers, moments ago, NFL insider Ian Rappaport announced that Tucker Kraft suffered a knee injury in today's practice. Kraft will have it fully evaluated, but the belief is that it is not a long-term issue. Tucker Kraft is coming off a career game with 6 receptions, 124 yards, and a touchdown. A lot of people expect Thursday Night Football to be a one-sided affair. The Bills will host the Dolphins, and the Bills are favored by over 11 points. Kickoff is at 7:15. Tomorrow night, we'll have some high school football covered on Overtime. Take note, it is moving from Fox 39 to WTVO. It'll run right at 11 p.m. on WTVO. The Cubbies are officially in the playoffs, and they face a desperate Cincinnati Reds team tonight in Cincinnati. The Reds are 2 games back from the Mets, and they have ace Hunter Green on the mound. The Cubs will start Colin Ray. First pitch is at 6:15. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Our first Warning Interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Glass and More. A little more active locally from what it's been here the last couple of days, even though it's not much. We've got a few sprinkles that are showing up there out to the west across far northwest Illinois. We might see a few more very light showers here as we head into the evening hours, especially to our west. A small uptick in some of that precipitation late tonight. Temperatures near 60. We stay in the 80s through the weekend.
Thank you, Candace.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again at 6.